The Atlanta suburbs hadn't changed, still suffocatingly quiet, the air thick with secrets. Daniel Brooks sat on his porch, Emily's photo clutched in one hand, Clara's note in the other. The words stared back at him. "I'm sorry. I'll go, but the baby is yours." Each syllable was a blade, cutting deeper into the wound Clara had left behind. 3 weeks had passed since her departure, but the house felt no lighter. Her lavender scent lingered in the curtains, her footsteps echoed in the halls, and the unborn child, his child, haunted his every thought. Daniel hadn't called the police. Not yet. The confession on Clara's phone burned in his memory. "I loosened the brake line that night. It was easy." He could still see Emily's car in the news photos, crumpled against a guardrail on a 85, her life snuffed out by Clara's envy. Justice screamed for him to act, to drag Clara's crime into the light, but the baby stopped him. An innocent life, tied to him by blood, caught in the crossfire of betrayal. Could he destroy Clara without destroying his own child? He'd tried to find her. A private investigator, a grizzled man named Ray, had taken the case for cash and a handshake. Ray tracked Clara's last known address to a rundown apartment in Macon, but it was empty. Dishes in the sink, a single dress left in the closet, no trace of her plans. "She's a ghost," Ray had said, chewing a toothpick. "Folks like her don't stay found." Daniel didn't tell Ray about the pregnancy or the confession. He wasn't ready to share that burden. Nights were the worst. Daniel paced the house, blueprints for his next architectural project untouched on his desk. He'd always found solace in lines and angles, but now they felt meaningless. His sister, Lauren, called daily, sensing his unraveling. "You're not yourself, Dan," she said during one call, her voice sharp with worry. "What did that woman do to you?" He dodged her questions, afraid the truth would spill out and shatter everything. One evening, as rain battered the windows, Daniel found himself in Emily's old office. Her journals, her sketches, her life, it was all there, preserved like a shrine. He opened a drawer and found a letter, tucked beneath a stack of papers. It was in Emily's handwriting, dated a month before her death. "To Daniel, if I'm gone." His heart stopped. Why hadn't he seen this before? Clara's meddling flashed through his mind. Had she hidden it? Moved it? His fingers trembled as he read. "Daniel, if you're reading this, something's happened. I've been uneasy lately. There's a woman at work, Claire. She watches me, always too close, too quiet. I don't trust her. She asked about you once, strange questions, like she was collecting pieces of our life. If I'm gone, find her. Don't let her near you. I love you always. Emily." The letter slipped from his hands. Emily had known. She'd seen Clara's shadow before it swallowed them both. Daniel's guilt surged. Why hadn't he listened when Emily mentioned her unease? Why had he let Clara into their home? He sank to the floor, the weight of his failure crushing him. The next morning, Daniel's phone buzzed with an unknown number. He answered, expecting a telemarketer, but a woman's voice, low, cautious, came through. "Mr. Brooks? You don't know me, but I know Clara. My name's Sarah. We need to talk." Her tone was urgent, almost afraid. Daniel's grip tightened on the phone. "Where is she?" he demanded. "Not over the phone," Sarah said. "Meet me at the diner on Peachtree, noon. Come alone." The line went dead. Daniel stared at the phone, his pulse racing. A lead, finally, but it felt like a trap. He grabbed his keys, ignoring the voice in his head screaming to stay put. The diner was a relic, all cracked vinyl booths and greasy air. Sarah was already there, a wiry woman in her 30s with sharp eyes and a nervous tick in her jaw. She slid a photo across the table. A younger Clara, arm in arm with a man who looked vaguely familiar. "That's my brother, Michael," Sarah said. Clara was his fiancée. "She destroyed him, just like she's doing to you." Daniel listened as Sarah unraveled Clara's past. Michael had been an architect, like Daniel, working at the same firm as Emily. Clara had been obsessed with him, but when Michael praised Emily's work, Clara's jealousy turned venomous. She'd sabotaged his projects, spread lies, and when he ended their engagement, she vanished, only to resurface years later in Daniel's life. "She's not pregnant," Sarah said, her voice hard. "It's a lie. She's done it before with Michael. She fakes it, plays the victim, gets what she wants." Daniel's mind reeled. Not pregnant? The confession, the note, the baby, it was all a manipulation? "Why me?" he asked, his voice hoarse. Sarah leaned closer. "You were Emily's. Clara hated her for having what she couldn't, a perfect life, a perfect love. She wanted to take it all." Sarah handed him a USB drive. "Proof," she said. "Recordings, emails, Clara's plans. She's been stalking you for years, Daniel. She's dangerous." He took the drive, his hands cold. "Where is she now?" he asked again. Sarah's eyes darkened. "I don't know. But she's not done with you." Back home, Daniel plugged the USB into his laptop. The files were a labyrinth of obsession. Photos of him and Emily at company events, screenshots of Emily's social media, even a map of their neighborhood with his house circled. One audio file chilled him to the bone. Clara's voice, low and deliberate, recorded months before she applied for the housemaid job. "He'll see me, not her. I'll be the one he loves. Emily's gone, and I'm all he needs." Daniel's rage boiled over. Clara hadn't just killed Emily, she'd orchestrated a twisted takeover of his life. He called Ray, the investigator, and told him everything: Emily's letter, Sarah's story, the USB. "Find her," Daniel said. "I don't care what it costs." Ray grunted. "This ain't just a runaway maid, Brooks. You sure you want to open this door?" Daniel didn't hesitate. "She took my wife. She doesn't get to walk away." Days turned into weeks. Ray tracked leads across Georgia. Clara's car spotted in Savannah, a credit card ping in Augusta, but she was always one step ahead. Daniel couldn't sleep, couldn't work. The house felt like a cage, every creak a reminder of Clara's presence. He started carrying a knife, checking locks obsessively, haunted by the thought of her returning. Then a breakthrough. Ray called late one night. "Found her. She's holed up in a cabin near Lake Oconee. I'm watching the place. You want in? Come now." Daniel grabbed his jacket and drove, the highway blurring under his headlights. The cabin was remote, tucked in a pine grove, its windows glowing faintly. Ray met him at the edge of the property, his face grim. "She's alone," he said. "But she's got a gun." Daniel's heart pounded as he approached the cabin, Ray at his side. The door was unlocked, swinging open with a creak. Clara sat at a wooden table, a revolver in front of her, her eyes calm but sharp. "You found me," she said, almost impressed. "I knew you would." Daniel's voice was steel. "Why, Clara? Why Emily? Why me?" She tilted her head, her smile faint. "You were hers. I wanted you to be mine. Emily had everything, your love, your home, your future. I deserved it more." Her voice cracked, but her eyes were dry. "I didn't mean for her to die. I just wanted her to fail, to leave you." "But the brakes," she trailed off, shrugging, as if it were a minor miscalculation. "And the baby?" Daniel asked, his fists clenched. Clara laughed softly. "There's no baby. Just a way to keep you." Daniel's vision blurred with rage, but Ray's hand on his shoulder kept him steady. "You're done, Clara," Daniel said. "The police are coming." Her smile vanished. She grabbed the gun, her movements quick but unsteady. "You don't get to decide my ending," she hissed. Before Daniel could react, she raised the weapon, not at him, but at herself. Time slowed. Ray lunged, tackling her to the floor. The gun fired, the bullet shattering a window, glass raining down like stars. Clara screamed, a raw, animal sound, as Ray pinned her arms. Daniel stood frozen, the weight of the moment crushing him. Sirens wailed in the distance. Ray had called for backup. Clara thrashed, her eyes wild, no longer the composed housemaid but a cornered predator. "You'll never forget me," she spat as the police stormed in, cuffing her wrists. The cabin was searched, revealing more evidence. A journal detailing her obsession, photos of Daniel taped to the walls, and a vial of pills used to fake pregnancy symptoms. Clara was charged with Emily's murder, stalking, and fraud. The trial was swift, her confession on the USB damning her. She was sentenced to life without parole, her face blank as the gavel fell. But the story didn't end there. Daniel returned to his house, now emptier than ever. Emily's letter, her warning, became his anchor. He sold the Colonial, unable to live in its shadows, and moved to a small apartment downtown. He rebuilt his life, piece by piece, finding solace in his work and Lauren's support. Yet Clara's words lingered, "You'll never forget me." One night, as Atlanta's skyline glittered outside his window, Daniel received a package. No return address, just a small box with a single item, a lavender-scented candle, identical to the ones Clara used. His heart raced. Was it a prank? A mistake? Or was Clara, even from behind bars, reaching out to remind him of her power? He lit the candle, watching the flame dance. Then, in a moment of defiance, he blew it out, the smoke curling like a ghost into the night. He wouldn't let her win. Not again. The stars above Atlanta burned brighter that night, as if Emily herself was watching, her light untarnished by Clara's darkness. Daniel stepped onto his balcony, the city alive below, and whispered, "I'm free." The words felt true, fragile but real, a promise to himself and to Emily's memory. What would you do with a past that refuses to stay buried? Can you ever truly escape a shadow like Clara's? Share your thoughts below, and stay tuned for more stories that grip your soul.